The remakes have been announced. There is definitely things that need to happen and change in these games, though, moving forward with the Pokemon series. What is going on, everybody? My name is Kneeckoh, and welcome back to another Pokemon video. Today we are going to be talking about the Diamond and Pearl remakes and 10 things that I think need to be in these remakes. I know they said they're going to be faithful recreations, but I hope that means more in the lines of the art style and not necessarily the gameplay, and you know, faithful to the story and things like that, but the gameplay can change up a bit. That's what I'm hoping they mean by faithful, and that hopefully we'll see some of these changes actually make their way into Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are subscribed for more videos like this in the future. Let's get into it. So I have these going in descending order. So 10 is the lowest on my priority list, 1 is the highest. This is my list. I don't think everybody's list is going to be the same. This is what I think needs to be in this particular Pokemon remake. And if you agree or if you think something else should be on this list, leave a comment below. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say on the subject. So number 10 on this list is Overworld Pokemon. We didn't see Overworld Pokemon in the trailer for Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, Overworld Pokemon aren't going to be there, but with this art style, it could definitely be a bit of a challenge getting Overworld Pokemon in there. They could do it similarly to Heart Gold Soul Silver and have like smaller sprites follow you around, or have those smaller sprites be the wild Pokemon. That is something I really think should be in this game moving forward. I don't think it needs to be everywhere. It doesn't have to be on every route, but there should definitely be a dedicated area in the game that is very similar to the wild area and has raid dens and things like that. Because there is so much that was done with Let's Go in the Overworld Pokemon in the wild area, and I feel like taking that away is a step backwards in the Pokemon series. I don't think we need to start taking some of these better features away. I think they need to just continue to be included and find ways to work them in. Number 9, and this is going to make a lot of people happy because, you know, these are the people that are still in uproar about Sword and Shield all over Twitter and Reddit, and that's have a national dex in this game. I talked about this in my VGC video, talking about where VGC would end up going, and I had a theory that this game could potentially have a national Pokedex after you beat the main story of the game. So after you beat it, you know, you complete your regional dex, and then you get the national dex, and you can move stuff over from Sword and Shield, and that would complete the missing 260 Pokemon from Sword and Shield. This would be my theory moving forward, that there would only be national dexes in remakes, because then you could, you know, have the new Pokemon from whatever the new generation is, have old Pokemon added through DLCs or however they decide to do it in the future, much like they did with Sword and Shield, and then when they go ahead and do whatever remake is next, they go ahead and add the remaining Pokemon, and that will be the national dex game. So for example, this game would add the 260, and then we'd have everything from Sword and Shield, and then the next generation would roll around, and then we'd be back to a limited dex. I think this is a good formula moving forward. It adds variety to the games, and I think it just makes the most sense. So I'm hoping to see a return of the national dex, and it's partly to do because I want this game to be VGC moving forward, not Sword and Shield continue to be our VGC game. Number 8, I think this one's super likely, and it has to do with the national dex scenario, and that is just that Pokemon Home is incorporated to some capacity with this game. I think this is super likely. The more I'm seeing stuff on this particular game, the more I think this is possibly our VGC game moving forward, which means Pokemon Home incorporation is very important. Even if Sword and Shield is our VGC game moving forward, it's pretty likely that we have some form of Pokemon Home, excuse me, incorporation into these remakes, because ILCA, the company that is doing these remakes, is the same company that worked on Pokemon Home. So it seems very unlikely that a company that worked on Home would not allow Home function in this remake. So for me, Home seems almost like a given at this point, but I do think it is necessary. Platinum features in this remake. Now, I think this is super likely because of stuff we've seen in the trailer. I don't think that it makes sense for them to take away Platinum content in these Diamond and Pearl remakes. For example, we see Porygon Z in the trailer. Porygon Z was part of the Platinum Extended Pokedex. It was not part of the Diamond and Pearl Dex. So I think it's likely based on that. You also, in the trailer, you see the girl that gives the flower for Shaman, and then you also see the statue that features both Dialga and Palkia, which is bronze, which is supposed to be like an indication that this is a combined version. So It's definitely likely that platinum stuff returns and becomes more like endgame stuff. I could see this being done in the same way that Rayquaza was done in Auras. After you beat the game, it's an additional like episode story content kind of deal. And I think this is the best way to do it. 6. Character customization. Now, I don't think that we're going to get character customization on the same level that we have in the last few entries like X and Y, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. I don't think it's likely. I don't think it's going to happen because we didn't get the character customization in Auras. We didn't get it in Let's Go. So it's unlikely that we get very deep character customization, not to mention that deep character customization would be very hard to do with these chibi models. However, I think they could do some small things like, you know, maybe change up the color of your clothing or the color of your hat, color of your bag, things like that. Just small things to make your character feel more like you. And on the same subject of character customization, the last few games we have had racial diversity in the characters, and I think it's a very bad idea to go back on that. I don't think that we should be cutting different races from the character selection screen. Now, they incorporated it into Let's Go, so there is a good chance that they do incorporate it into these remakes, but I definitely think it needs to be in these remakes moving forward. 5, no HMs. That was a huge concern of mine when they announced that these were going to be faithful, is that they were going to bring back HMs. However, I just don't see it being very likely. It has been one of the better things for them to remove HMs from Pokemon, and I figured they'll find a way to incorporate some method of doing HMs without actually having to have them on a Pokemon. 4. This is more exclusive to people that enjoy competitive play, and that's hyper training and mints returning. Hyper training is so fantastic, and mints are fantastic because it makes getting Pokemon ready for competitive play that much easier, and I think this was one of the best features in Pokemon Sword and Shield. If you follow the channel, you know that Pokemon Sword and Shield is my first VGC game, but it is my first VGC game because it's been so accessible. It was incredibly easy for me to hop in and start building teams and making competitive ready Pokemon because of the quality of life improvements that they made in Pokemon Sword and Shield, like the bottle caps, the hyper training, and the mints. It's just super nice, and if they want more people to try and partake in this side of the game, they need to keep these things moving forward. So I think it's very likely that they do continue this trend moving forward because they want more people playing different aspects of their game, because it's going to, in the long run, keep people playing their game and keep interest in it. 3, I think there's a vocal minority that don't like this and say it makes the games too easy. They don't like experience all. Now, when I say experience all, I mean like now you don't have to have an experience share on the Pokemon in the lead of your party to give the experience across your entire party. This is one of the best quality of life improvements they've made in Pokemon. I hated the experience share, how you had to have it on whatever was in front of your party, and then that's when it would share. It was annoying, okay? Experience all is the best way to do it moving forward. However, if they continue it, just give an option to turn it off in the settings. That makes both parties happy, because I don't want to lose it, but I know other people don't want to have it. So just make it an option in the settings for us to turn off and on at our whim. 2, this one I think is really important. Dynamaxing or Megas or both. I want any of these options. I don't care if we get Dynamaxing, I don't care if we get Megas, I don't care if we get both. Now, if you've been following the leaks and information regarding some of this stuff around Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, it seems likely Megas are returning because there are some toys that are in promotion for this game that feature Mega Charizard and Mega Lucario that are releasing around the same time as these games are predicted to release. So, based on that, it seems likely that if they're using Mega Pokemon as, you know, promotional material for this game, that it is pretty likely that they will have Megas in this game. Now, for me personally, I think Dynamaxing is a vastly superior form of play. I know people really like Megas, and Megas are cool, don't get me wrong, but G-Max Pokemon are like the same freaking thing as Megas. You get a different form of a Pokemon, and you use it in certain battle situations. It's pretty much the same thing as a Mega, but Dynamaxing just did so much more for battles, so I vastly prefer that mechanic, and I would rather we have Dynamaxing, but if we have Megas, I'm fine with that. I'll be happy either way. As long as we get new forms as well, I think there definitely needs to be new forms of whatever gimmick they decide to incorporate. But I think this needs to come moving forward. They need to incorporate one of these two gimmicks, if not both of these gimmicks, into battles. The final thing, And the most important thing to me, this is likely something that most people are not going to agree with. I think this game needs to be the VGC game going forward. Now, I'm not saying you disagree with me because you don't want this to be the VGC game. I'm saying you disagree with me because you don't think this is the most important thing regarding these remakes. But for me personally, I've talked about this in another video. I just don't want Sword and Shield to continue being our VGC game. We've had this game by the time the Diamond and Pearl releases. We would have had Sword and Shield for 2 years, and that's just a long time for a competitive game. We need something new, we need something fresh, so I really, really am hoping that Diamond and Pearl remakes are going to be our new VGC games moving forward, and those will be the competitive games in the 2022 World Championships. That is my list, though, of the top 10 things I think need to be in the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Let me know, like I said earlier, in the comments below what you guys think need to be in these remakes. If I missed anything, things you're excited about, things like that, let me know. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you found it entertaining and helpful. If you did, be sure you leave a like and smash that subscribe button for more videos like this in the future. Be sure to check out the Discord where people over there playing Pokemon all the time. I'll briefly mention as well, I have my second channel that I have been posting all my VODs on, all my Twitch streams. I post the whole stream up on my second channel, so you guys can check that out if that is something that interests you. And then also check me out on Twitch if you want to catch those live, or check me out on Twitter, TikTok, all those forms of social media if you're interested in keeping up with me, this channel, stream, or anything like that. Like I said, that is it for this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.